Vive depression. Viva depression? Adulting sucks. I'm bored and demotivated. So I'm having a hell of a time getting anything accomplished lately. In fact, if it wasn't for my friend, I wouldn't be going to the gym because I would just sit here and watch cartoons. Anyway, this rose is actually very important as someone has departed from our lives, and it is a memento. Let's take a look at a Mikrotik. What do they call these things? The Gper, I think is what it's called. The gigabit thingy-mabobber. That's basically an Ethernet. What is it? It's a PoE / gigabit data extender. It's a range extender. How much is left? All right, so anyway, this one failed because it was improperly installed, which happens. A little bit of advice is when you're, setting these guys up, make sure that the grommets are very, 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 very clean. Make sure that the grommets are clean when you put the cable through them. Make sure that this little slot right here is perfectly sealed. And you know what's even better than anything? Is if you put a teeny tiny little bit of gasket grease on everything here before you put this thing together and then dump it out in the wild. Otherwise it will fill with water, as this one did. Not to mention that water came in through the actual Ethernet jack itself. That's also common. That's why these little inline things in a lot of cases fail. What am I hearing? Is that the wind shoving my wall? That's pretty wild. Alright, in this case here, yeah, the jack is all rotten and... Oh, let's crack this guy open. Alright, what's the best way for me to do this? I don't know where my little tiny bench vise is. I will use something else which should suffice the vise. This should crack the plastics quite nicely. There we go. Oh yeah, it's loaded with water. The Mikrotik Gper. Yeah, and the water's all in the place where you don't want it to be. Okay. Let's get the label off of here. Oh yeah, you can see that all the power electronics are fried. I'm going to try to add a new camera right now while I'm filming and see if it actually works. Let's add this little microscope so we can take a closer look at the board. I'm going to change the cameras live here. Turn it on. I think it's on. Is it on? No lights. I was having problems with this idiot thing there the other day too. There, it seems to be running. Let's choose it now. Come on, you can work. There we go. I'll just full screen that like so. I did that while recording. Why? Because I don't care. Alright, so let's see here. Maybe I can free ball this just a little bit. Let's take a close look at this thing. Let's take a look at our water damage. I'm just gonna try to lock this arm a little bit closer. Cool. Alright, let's see if I can focus this now. There we go. Let's take a little peek at that. So what got fried? Well, you can see all the water residue here. Pins don't look terrible. Oh, yes. We've got a couple of diodes here that are annihilated. What do we got? So we've got, this is one of the TVS diodes right here, next to the full bridge rectifier. Looks like it was at some point a resistor. So yeah, basically the power section here is foobarred. Going further across to the other side of the board here. Wow, look at all. Oh, that's the label. Never mind. I thought that was something cool. Yeah, that's where most of the damage is. It's all over here. Oh, it's all water corrosion. Oh, it's a rotten circuit. So let's take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And piss it all over the board. And a little bit of an iso scrub. I just got that in the open wound on my thumb. Where is the open wound? Come on. Where is it? Oh yeah, dry skin. Isn't that wonderful? Ha ha ha, gore. Oh, I just set my bench on fire. There, that should be cured. Now let's take a closer look now. Now that the fire's out. What's that song? Can't get the stink out. It's been hanging around for days. It's because my freezer ran out of power. There we go. Yeah, what do we got here? Can we see any kind of annotation on the board? I do not think so, but you can definitely see that those components are fucked. Just to give you an idea about how small those are, I'm going to grab a pencil. Go on my face cam for a second here. Here's my standard pencil. And let us go down here, and I'm going to put a pencil tip. Look at how teeny tiny those little components are. And they're all rotted away. All rotted away. Yeah, it's all fucked. Well, you know what? Why don't we try firing it up? Let's switch back over to my other cam now. Let's go over here. And I think I have to adjust this. Hold on. I gotta take this one again, and I gotta do that. Otherwise, it's gonna be way too big because I suck at OBS. Is that the right one? Wrong one. Right one. There we go. Boop. Now I can zoom this back in so it records at 2K. Move this out of the way. Yeah, with last month's Patreon, I picked up some microscope stuff for this so that I could do some neat things with it. All right. Look at all the corrosion inside of the case, too, by the way. There's blue, which is copper. What is that? Gper chloride. Uno momento, mi amigos and amigas. I'm wearing a hoodie now. So let's put electricity into this. Where would I have an Ethernet cable that I could try that with? Yeah, it's Ethernet cable. Yeah. Alright, so PoE is on this side. Let's give that power there. I'll plug this into our little PoE thingy right here. And do we have anything? Hard no. We got nothing. Do we even have heat? No. So, let's put this in backwards and see what happens. Still nothing. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's fried. And I have no want or desire to repair it, so that's another thing to go in the garbage. But anyway, yeah, check that out, see? So this was a great opportunity for me to explain to you something. We're at like, what, 10 minutes? Fuck it, I'll take an extra minute. Just because you seal something doesn't mean water is not going to get into it. So there's all sorts of variants on different types of Ethernet cables that you should be cognizant of. There's gel filled, there's gel tape, there is double braid, double shield. There's all sorts of different types of Ethernet cable for different applications. Now, I've always been a proponent of using double shielded on towers because I personally feel that in situations like that, you want to have better electrical protection, better RF protection, better EMF protection. So I always favor the double shielded over gel filled. Now the other reason is as well is when you run a cable up a tower, that gel, if it gets hot, will slowly ooze its way out of the end of the cable and get everywhere. And the void left behind creates a vacuous state which can just draw in moisture. So you're back to where you were not having the gel in it. So why bother? But in a case like this where you're running a cable across somebody's property and you need it to go further, but you want to keep water out of the devices, there's really no hydraulic force from, like, you know, gravity. So you can use gel-filled cable or gel tape cable to run across the property. And another situation where you want double shielded if you can use it, by the way. But anyway, point is yeah, you can use gel cable here to keep the water from getting in, because what can happen is moisture can get into the cable through dozens of different ways. The thermal expansion and contraction of the interior of the cable is a prime example of that, because you actually have there's vacant space, there's void inside of the cable between the conductors and the jacket, and between the conductors and conductors, or between the conductors and the separator, the crisscross separator thingy, you know. So what can happen is because there's a void in there, sun hits the cable, or the cable just heats up during the day from ambient heat. That is going to increase the air temperature within the cable, causing the pressure to build, and of course it will evacuate. So you'll actually be pushing, the cable will exhale. Then as the temperature decreases, it will inhale, drawing in air from its surroundings outside. Now, what's going to happen there? Well, let's say that it was a hot, humid day, and it's still a hot, humid evening, right? Well, that humid air is going to get drawn into the cable, and that is going to bring in the moisture, which is then going to condense. And of course, it will further, what's the word I'm looking for, because my vocabulary has gone to hell again, exacerbate the issue as temperatures drop below dew point, you know, relative to the humidity within the cable itself. So you get humid air that accumulates over time from the nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime. The inhale, exhale cycle of the cable will draw moisture in, the temperature drops, your dew point drops, and then it will condensate. Inside of it, the water develops inside of the cable. It doesn't matter how well sealed your connectors are on your cute little inline splice container, because the moisture is not going to come in through your fittings. It's not going to come in through this white asshole on the end. No, it's going to come from the inside of the cable, and as the cable breathes or exhales, eventually there's going to be so much moisture accumulated in it that it'll eke the fluid out through the head, it gets into the device and fucking ruins it. So all this fancy shielding and all that is kind of pointless in that case. I mean, sure, this will keep the water out from like rain and stuff like that, but like I said, over time it'll just, you know, I hadn't noticed that before. That's cool. It's actually got like a little spot on there. So there, take to heart the, would that be climatology I was just explaining to you? Maybe. Watch Blarton, son. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule. Don't kill anyone.